In this video I'm going to show you what 100 hours of shipbuilding in Starfield looks like. So I've racked up well over 100 hours of gameplay in Starfield, and it's fair to say that I spent the majority of that shipbuilding than in other areas of the game. So we're going to look at my worst builds leading up to my really good builds. So if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and don't forget to join my Discord. So let's start things off with the Achilles, my first ever ship. Now the ships that I'd seen prior to Starfield coming out were from the Starfield Direct videos and all that stuff, and they were very flat, not boring, but very like, you know, NASA punk as Bethesda call it. So I wanted like proper wings, like a Klingon ship or a Batwing. I wanted it to protrude and just look very different, and I think I did alright. Just to let you know, all the build videos for these ships in this video are in the description box below. I don't think I did too bad with this. It's not my best ship, but for a first attempt, not too bad. I'm happy with that. What do you guys think? Right, so my next ship, the Stormrider. At the time I was trying to build a mini Star Destroyer and I had no idea how to do smoother looking angles and wings. Yeah, this ship's awful. Like, let's just be honest, this ship looks like a flying Dorito. It was not my best at all. I even angled the guns wrong. At the time I thought the turrets were 360, so I had them facing like that way because I was like, oh, they're just going to turn. They probably turn that way because they'll activate in battle, but boy was I wrong. But in terms of firepower though, not a bad ship. No cargo at all, decent mobility for how big it is, huge shield, and this thing shreds against the Crimson Fleet, but what an ugly build. Not my best at all, probably one of my worst. Okay, so the Watchdog. Now this was my budget fighter ship build. At the time, again, thought it looked quite cool. Looking back, no, I've done way better than this, as you're going to see shortly, but yeah, what a mess. It's another Dorito shape, isn't it? It looks like a flying Dorito. Not my best ship at all, but, you know, what can you do? I was still learning. Right, the Rambler. Now, this is one of my best ships in terms of being a light fighter. And, yeah, I love this paint theme and I love the build. I liked building this ship. It is one of my favourites that I've built in terms of what it can do, like firepower, how good it is, and also the colour. And a lot of you pointed out in the comments, and you were correct about the paint theme, it was based off of Evangelion. And people get caught up on the mobility, like a couple of people like, why ain't it 100 mobility? Like, as long as you're between 60 and 80, mobility's fine, you don't need 100. People also said that it didn't have enough cargo space. That's another thing that people get caught up on. You don't actually need a lot of cargo space in this game. If you want a cargo ship, you know, that's decent with good mobility, good firepower, you know, between 3 and 6k cargo is more than enough. But for a light fighter, you don't need that much cargo at all. But yeah, one of my favourite builds. What did you guys think? So this one was my first Ranger build. I actually deleted this ship on another save to build a different ship, which you'll see later on in the video. But I like this ship. I love the shape. I really like the shape, and I called it the Frog. But this was one of my favourite builds to do. Now, stat-wise, decent cargo, decent shield, 43 mobility. It's not too bad, but people commented that the mobility wasn't that good. I think they were saying there was like 10 mobility. I don't know why they said that in the video, but overall, this was like one of my favourite ships to build. It's slow in the sense of the way it turns. It doesn't turn on a penny. It's not very quick. So it might not have great mobility, but this thing melts. Anything that gets within range of this gets absolutely double tapped and annihilated into next year. So I had no problem dealing with the Crimson Fleet in this ship at all, or the Starborn, or any spacers that, you know, tried their luck. So when building this ship, I took inspiration from multiple sources, so like the Dropship from Aliens, the Dropship from Love, Death and Robots, the Pelican from Halo, and also just like a military sort of looking ship in general. And I think I nailed it. I really like it. I wanted a bulky dropship that looked like it was going to drop into combat, drop troops off and get out basically, as well as providing, like, you know, some good fire support. And I think this definitely looks like that. You know, what you see is what you get sort of thing. But yeah, definitely one of my favourite builds, this one, definitely. Okay, so the Reef 3 that was, it's lagging already. The Reef 3 that was featured in my Stormtroopers versus the Crimson Fleet build. Obviously this one exceeds the ship size. It's nearly 100 meters long. But yeah, again, one of my other favourite designs. Obviously you need mods for this, but such a cool ship. That firepower absolutely melted the Crimson Fleet in seconds. Like, it was, yeah, it was a slaughter. Really cool ship though. The thing is, you can't avoid the Dorito look with a Star Destroyer looking ship. It's just not possible. But yeah, I like this one. This was a really good one. Okay, the Narwhal. Now this was basically an upgrade to my Rambler ship build, and this is when I learned how to do the drop glitch and blend stuff in properly. This is my favourite fighter build. So Rambler comes second against this, because this was just built really well. Really happy with this build, and definitely one of my favourites. And I managed to up the mobility to 95 and have a bit more cargo. I didn't want to go too crazy on the cargo of this one because it's just not needed because it was a light fighter. But yeah, this was my favourite build out of all the ships I've done. I love the light fighters, and the inspiration was from like an F-22 jet fighter. So I think I nailed it with this ship though. What a cool design, and the colours are yeah, chef's kiss. My Ranger 3. Now this one is massive, gargantuan. This was my gargantuan video build. So 140 meters here. I actually had it over 200 and it was just unplayably laggy and you couldn't snap things properly. This thing has a ton of firepower, so it's a ton of obliterator turrets, and then these are the pulse laser turrets. Yeah, this thing shreds. Now the inside, so you've got some big habs that are like 6x6, 3x3. This mod recently got updated, so the interiors of the habs work now and they are huge. So I'm going to be doing a build video for this ship, and it's going to have like a focus on the interior, because the interior is just massive. It looks insane. But yeah, this was again one of my favourite ship builds. The only thing I didn't like about this one, so my own critique, is these. The engines are fantastic, but you cannot build too close to them, and there was no way to overlap stuff. So now that we've got the updated mod, I'm actually going to try the drop down glitch and see where that takes us. But you'll be seeing this in a video very soon, so stay tuned for that. The Frontier. So we upgraded the starter ship to a Warhammer Thunderhawk. This was a build I wanted to do for a long time, being an avid Warhammer fan, and a lot of you did ask for it as well. So I built a corn themed Thunderhawk. Only critique is there's no slanted structures, and you can't rotate like items, habs, structures, all that kind of stuff. You can't rotate it horizontally. That annoyed me in this game, that you only had like the one flip option. Like you should have been able to rotate it like the full 360. And I could have made a better job of this, but you know, using what I had and what we got, yeah, I think I did a fantastic job of this. And this was a really good ship, very strong, very powerful, good maneuverability. So it's got nearly, well, I say nearly 1800. I was about to say nearly 1800. It's not. It's got 1700 cargo, obviously a ton of shield. Mobility's 56, but this thing turns really well. It's the one thing I'd say about ships like this though, is you want between, I'd say 50 and 60 mobility, 70 at a push, but you don't want higher, because you don't want big ships like this to be able to turn on a penny. It just looks really unrealistic. You know, imagine a massive ship just U-turning on the spot. Yeah, I like aesthetics and I like realism, and a ship like this would not turn that quick in real life. So that's why we go for that sort of mobility, but she turns really well, really good in combat. Brilliant ship. I love this one. My recent longsword video. So this build was actually an upgrade to my very first build, the best starter ship in Starfield. And what I wanted to do was make the wings look a lot better. And I think I achieved that. I think the shape of this ship is insane. I think it's a really cool shape, very different. Very nimble ship, got a decent amount of cargo, 66 mobility, turns very well, she's very quick, and yeah, an all around fun ship to build. Like this one. So thanks for watching the video guys. Let me know in the comments which build was your favourite, and also don't forget, all the links to the builds are in the description below. Except for the gargantuan ship, because I'm going to be rebuilding that with a working interior and it's going to be amazing, so stay tuned for that. And speaking of staying tuned, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, don't forget to like the video and join my Discord. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace!